Hello to everybody in Maryland's beautiful 8th Congressional District and beyond. It's Congressman Jamie Raskin coming at you from my office in the Rayburn House Office Building. And happy National Teacher Appreciation Week. And we are here for my favorite time in the week with local heroes. And we've got a true local hero and a true teacher and educator that we are celebrating today, Dr. Khademian, who is the executive director of the universities at Shady Grove, and she's done such a magnificent job out there. We wanted to toast her for that. And we thought we would use it as an opportunity to talk about teachers and education in Maryland, in Montgomery County, Frederick, Carroll, but basically in our area. I hope everybody gets the chance to commend and praise at least one teacher in their life, somebody who has meant a lot to you or your kids or your grandkids or your parents or whatever. I wanted to say a word about our youngest child, Tabitha, who is a public high school teacher now and has worked so hard through COVID-19 to connect with her kids. Very tough when people aren't turning on their videos, and a lot of kids are self-conscious about being on the video and having their face up there, and not being able to have that physical interaction. The body language is very tough. But Tabitha has made it a really fun, warm, convivial learning experience, and she has the kids come in during office hours and develops personal relationships. So I'm going to salute you, Tabitha, and then Dr. Khademian. I want to thank you for this amazing career you've had, although you are a Montgomery County and you've been down at Virginia Tech in a number of positions. You've written several really well-regarded books on education and the culture of schooling. And now you are playing this pivotal role out at the universities at Shady Grove. So if you don't mind, start by telling us a little bit about your job, if you would, and what exactly you do out there. And you know, there is always a little public confusion around USG, and maybe you'll give us some clean conceptual categories for thinking about it. And then I want to ask you about COVID-19 and how people have been responding out there.
Well, thank you, Congressman Raskin. What an honor to be here with you today. I really appreciate it. And thanks for sharing the story about your daughter as a teacher and all the work and effort that goes into reaching students, especially during this time. It's wonderful to hear about how she's embracing her work and what she's accomplishing as well. I have what I think is the job I have waited for my whole life, to be the executive director of the universities at Shady Grove. We are a regional hub in the higher educational system of the University System of Maryland. And we have 9 academic partners who bring 80 degree programs, graduate and undergraduate, to this campus to offer kind of front door gateway educational opportunities to students across Montgomery County. And students who come here, they have an in-person experience. They can be in student council, they can be in the Graduate Student Association, they have leadership development opportunities. There's all kinds of wonderful things that happen here on this campus, student support, but they're getting their degrees from the home institutions that offer the degrees. So University of Maryland College Park and UMBC and University of Maryland Baltimore and Salisbury, right? So, but I think what's really important about Shady Grove is not only that we are a gateway for these educational opportunities, but we are this hub in the system between our academic partners in Montgomery County, where we are here to help translate and catalyze economic development and workforce development. So we're one of the keys to the pathways and the pipelines to great jobs and great career opportunities for people here in Montgomery County, hoping that people get a great education and then take that talent back into Montgomery County to innovate, to take great jobs, to build a great future here for the county itself. So we want to be that hub of innovation, translating great degrees into great opportunities economically and in terms of workforce development for students and families here in Montgomery County.
So what have you done at USG to absorb the shock of the COVID-19 crisis? And then looking forward, what are the changes that have been made that you might keep? And then what are the things where we really need to get back to an old way of doing business?
Yeah, what a great question. So COVID really did reveal in very stark ways a lot of the inequities across our educational system that we've known that are there, but we could see them in very stark and clear ways. And so while the pivot to online learning was in some ways convenient, maybe inconvenient for some people, for many people it meant Will I have enough, bandwidth? Will I have even Wi-Fi that I can sign into my classes? Will I be sharing Wi-Fi with a whole household of people who are, students taking classes and others trying to use the Wi-Fi? Will I have a good computer at home that I can do this with? Will I be able to take my classes while my family is, dealing with food insecurity because of the pandemic or because we've lost jobs? Or so for many of our students, the pandemic was not only it was challenging on many, many levels. And so Shady Grove, in partnership with our partners in Montgomery College and Montgomery County Public Schools, did a lot to try to meet our students where they were. And so everything from trying to make study space available here on campus. We had, Jamie, at one point, students were using the parking garage, pulling into the parking garage to use the Wi-Fi so they could take classes because people didn't have access to Wi-Fi and things. So we had programs to deal with food insecurity here. Grover Essentials, Grover to Go, opportunities for students to, pick up a few pieces here and there to help, to kind of get over the rough times. Some food gift certificates and gift cards. Student services worked overtime to meet students' needs around counseling, around planning, around trying to learn and work online. So there were a lot of things that our team here, our academic partners, and the staff and faculty with our academic partners and our team here at USG and our teams, our partners across Montgomery College and MCPS did to really try to meet students where they are. But the challenge is, I think there are a lot of things that we learned during this time. We learned about the importance of online services that you can, especially for students who are commuting to the campus, who have full lives, they have jobs, they have families and children. An online opportunity is really great, and being able to have that flexibility is really terrific. But it also revealed, just as I said earlier, so many of the cracks in our educational system, so many of the inequities. And, for us going forward, it's not only about embracing some of the flexibility and things that comes from online and virtual, but it's also about looking forward and saying, what can we do to fix those gaps? What can we do to address those challenges? How can we build an educational ecosystem in Montgomery County that is more student focused, embracing equity, and creates pathways for students across their educational experience that are seamless so that all students have a chance to get their degree in higher education, to pivot and take a new job or to prepare for something else, or to have their children have those opportunities, right? We need to be thinking about the students holistically across a pathway and thinking about how we support them at every step along the way so that everybody in Montgomery County has options to pursue their educational dreams and to translate that into great jobs. So that's one of the big lessons coming out of this for us, is to really think more about the need to make these pathways seamless and what we can do to make them seamless.
Well, and I've heard you talk before about the educational ecosystem, which is a phrase I like a lot, and you refer to your partners at MCPS and at Montgomery College. And so, but tell me how exactly you do work together with those partners to find what, after all, is a unique pathway for each student to get to where they want to go. And then if you would also address as part of that, is there an assumption in Montgomery County, and Montgomery County is obviously a very educationally intense place, but is there an assumption that higher education is for everyone? And are there people for whom higher education is not right? And, do we have a place for those young people too?
That's a great question. Let me start with your first one. We partner in a lot of ways with Montgomery College and with Montgomery County Public Schools. One of the key thing is that we are a transfer only campus. So students come to us as transfer students. They do their first 2 years at Montgomery College or another community college, and then they transfer into our 4-year degree programs as juniors and seniors. So that transfer arrangement, that's the heart of our partnership right there, is making sure that what they're taking at Montgomery College translates, there's a transfer access agreement so that they can move seamlessly into a program at Shady Grove as well. So those really focusing.
Do high school kids in Montgomery County understand that? Are they aware of that as an option for them?
We're working on making them more aware of that. So we have a number of programs. We have one program called ACES, Achieving Collegiate Excellence and Success, which is a program that starts with high school students and follows them into Montgomery College, and then follows them on into a program at Shady Grove. And it's coaching for students along the way. It's coaching in high school. It's coaching them about coming into Montgomery College, and it's coaching them about going on to higher education if they choose to do that. And so that coaching approach has really started to build students' awareness of what's possible. But I think we need to increase this awareness. We need to work on how our partners can kind of help students see those final end goals. We do a lot to try to promote that, but we still could do a much better job of that possibility. But to your other question about every student, absolutely, everyone should have all kinds of opportunities and possibilities. I'm in higher education here at Shady Grove. We're thinking about that, so that's on my mind. But I think to be successful, and Shady Grove needs to promote this and be part of this as well, every student should have their own stop along their own off ramp, right, off of this pathway into whatever kind of opportunities they want. And I think that working with WorkSource Montgomery, working with Montgomery College, working with Frederick Community College, working with MCPS, I think we need to make those possibilities more clear and evident. I think students don't always see the possibilities. They don't always see what's there. We have a program around career readiness that has really taken off, Congressman Raskin. It is so exciting. It prepares students from high school with all of the skill sets that they need to be successful in a career. And they work with businesses and different partners along the way, so they get exposure to what this is like. And that kind of a program, not only does it prepare them for a job at the end of a 4-year degree program, but it prepares them to see all kinds of opportunities that they might want along the way. They might not want to go to college. They might want to do an associate's degree. They might want to do certificate. They might want to do some micro-credentialing, right? But we, as Montgomery County, we need to make that more visible and evident. So these pathways have to show students possibilities. And the only way we can do that is if we are all working towards this higher vision of what this new ecosystem can look like. I think we have to see coming out of COVID as this bold moment where we can rethink the educational ecosystem in Montgomery County, where we can go from partnerships that are incentivized with grants and things to partnerships that are part of they're systemic. They're part of a broader way of thinking. They're built around the student. They're built around equity. They're built around multiple opportunities. They're inclusive of employers. So I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I think that this is the moment, Congressman, that we can make some big and bold changes in Montgomery County that meet the needs of students where they are.
Well, I appreciate that vision very much. I wonder if you would maybe close us out by coming back to teachers, because of course, we can have the greatest visions in the world and the greatest systems in the world, but ultimately, when you talk to people about what made that critical difference in their thinking or their career, their big leaps forward in terms of understanding life, it always comes down to this teacher or that teacher, someone who really touched them in that way. We will never remove teachers from the educational process. You can't have education without teachers, right? So say a word about the people who teach with you at USG, and then the people who are teaching throughout the whole ecosystem you're talking about, MCPS and Montgomery College.
Yeah, Doug Weldon is the teacher who made a difference in my life, right? I remember him from my high school years. So absolutely, the teachers here at Shady Grove, they're the lifeblood. They are, reaching the students, educating the students, inspiring the students, showing them opportunities and possibilities. The faculty here at Shady Grove are phenomenal. They come from all of our academic partners. They work with our academic partners, but they're here on the campus. And you just listen, you just tune in and hear the students talking about their professor and this professor and that, and what I learned from this. They are the energy, they are the lifeblood, they are, they bring the excitement. I interviewed one of our professors for one of my own podcasts, and just listening to him talk about how the enthusiasm he has for how the students learn and the projects they're working on, I was ready to sign up. I was ready to sign up for class again. So the professors are amazing, and across the whole ecosystem, we have to do more to hear teachers and to build on the ideas of teachers. I think sometimes we get carried away with the administrative side of things, but if we listen more, if we appreciate more, if we support more the work of teachers, it'll be transformative in what we do, because the teachers they know what's happening for their students. They know what's working. They know they can see the pathway of their students. They can see what's worked and what hasn't, and where students need support. So whatever we do in this new world, it has to be based on the voice of the teachers, the input of the teachers, valuing the teachers at a much higher level than we currently do. And I think that that will be the key to the future.
Well, Dr. Ann Khademian, on this first week of May, you are our local hero as we recognize Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you for making Montgomery County a place of great opportunity and great mobility for our people, and above all, a place of great learning, where learning is put at the center of everything that we do. So you are our local hero.
Thank you, Congressman Raskin. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.